I'm sitting on the cold stone steps of a small community building on a quiet Sunday morning in a very small mountain town, waiting for a lift back to the airbase. Not feeling too great, not in unusual condition. Trying to work out the purpose and value of my life, what I'm worth, if anything, in the midst of this war in Vietnam, and with a family that I'm sure screwed me up with meaningless values. Always makes me feel depressed. Why? Life seems to be just doing things for no good reason, for no one at all, because no one really cares. Or if they do, it is that you would go away and disappear. All this living is just useless baggage that others wish wasn't in their way. Dad left whatever interest in people and life he had back in the frozen Russian forests. 3 years of living hell during that war. Never spoke of what he did there or who he had lived and fought with. Just how glorious it is to be a soldier and be able to fight for your country, the honour of duty, and how you were respected for that. Got medals for it. Escaped death very closely several times. Was captured and had a loaded pistol put his head once, but they finally let him go. Just shot the other 4 men he got captured with and had him bury them first. But before the war he used to write poetry, play the violin and piano, accordion, draw, act in plays. Never did any of those after the war. I remember the violin case and accordion on top of the wardrobe and the stacks of sketchbooks, all collecting dust in the bedroom. Don't even remember talking with him or spending time with him, unless I was copying a beating or getting a very military-style dressing down in barracks room language while standing at attention. And then I signed up as soon as I became 18 because it seemed to be the easiest way to get away from home. And I thought I had a better chance of survival going off to war than staying where I was. The day I had to leave to go to the military base, he cursed me out of the house and I had to find my own way there. And Mum ridiculed me for wanting to be a little toy soldier. No surprise there. She had told me once how she had wished for a girl as she already had a son, but I came along instead. I couldn't even get it right on that one. Dad didn't talk or write to me or answer a letter for over a year. After 4.5 years service, even though I had never had to face combat, I really started questioning the whole thing. People were dying. I was seeing their tin boxes regularly arriving at the Richmond Air Base. We were constantly told what great and loyal service we were contributing towards protecting our country from the wild red hordes, but never any ceremony when the coffins would arrive in those days. Just taxi the Hercules transport to a quiet corner of the airfield, unload the coffins onto the back of a truck, cover them up and clear out quickly with as little fuss as possible, like nothing ever happened. I'm being instructed not to wear my uniform off the base because Australian people dislike us so much. You could actually get attacked by Aussie civilians for wearing an Aussie military uniform. They treated our sacrifices of values with contempt. You get jailed if you try to avoid conscription, but then get beaten if you obey the law and show up on the street in the uniform they make you wear in the name of your country. What the hell's going on? All the values I was brought up with, all bullshit? Dad never described this kind of situation. What were people dying for? Who arranged all this mess? All these values I was prepared to protect with my life, do they mean anything? Does my life have any value? Who cares? I had joined up pretty well fresh out of high school and the SA Institute of Technology. I didn't know a thing, except what I had been brought up to believe and what I had been trained for in the Air Force. So I sat there as I waited for my lift, arms resting on my knees, head down as my heavy thoughts weighed my head. It was a totally quiet day, except for a bird or two amongst the trees. From somewhere a small boy walked by, 10, 11 years old or so. He stopped just after passing me, slightly turned and gazed at me. I looked up, saw his timid face just looking at me quietly and pensively. Then I looked down again and continued with my slowly, thickly meandering thoughts. He suddenly rushed up to me, hugged me around the shoulders, then quickly ran away down the side street. I was stunned. No stranger just runs up to you and hugs you. At first I was just dumbstruck with amazement. My mind was a blank, just a blank. Then I felt a wonderful glow spread through me. Someone actually cared, really cared. Someone actually cared how I felt. It lifted my heart. There was a world out there of which I was a part that mattered. This was over 50 years ago. That minute or so of my life is as brilliantly etched in my mind and heart as the day it exploded into my life. I have never forgotten that great moment of giving and sharing. Who was that little boy? Why did he do it? Where is he now? I hope he's had a good, happy life with many loved ones around him. Mine has turned out to be so. I would love to find him and return the hug. As one human being to another, no judgments, no conditions in any way, just heart to heart.